Hello student. Today we are discuss about the new lesson, that is mechanical properties of fluid. Today we are starting the new topic, that is mechanical properties of fluid. In 11th standard we are discuss about the wear of solid under the action of external periodic force. We know that matter consists of three states, that is solid, liquid and gases. Matter, it is made up of three states, that is first solid, second liquid and third gases. Then solid, it has, we know that solid, it has definite shape and size, but liquid and gases, it does not have their own shape. It takes the shape of containing vessel. When it is poured into beaker, then it takes the shape of beaker. Therefore it does not have their own shape. Liquid and gases, this liquid solid has definite shape and size, but liquid and gases, it does not have their own shape. Therefore it takes the shape of containing vessel. Therefore this liquid and gases are collectively known as fluid. Therefore this liquid and gases are collectively known as fluid. Fluid means any substance that can flow. Any substance which can flow, and this liquid and gases have both collectively are known as fluid, and its rigidity is low, or it has no rigidity. This liquid and gases, it has no rigidity. Therefore its rigidity is low. Therefore this liquid and gases which are collectively known as fluid. Therefore fluid means any substance that can flow, we can call as fluid. In this topic we are discuss about the mechanical properties of the fluid. Shear modulus of this shear stress of the fluid, it is 0, because here in this case fluid mechanical shear modulus or this shearing stress of this fluid is 0. In this topic we are discuss about the mechanical properties of fluid. Therefore at first we discuss about the properties of fluid. Ideal fluid, it must be properties of fluid. We know that fluid means it is the both collections of liquid and gases. Collectively both are known as fluid, and fluid means the substance which can flow, we can call fluid, and it flow under the action of external periodic force. Therefore, it ideal fluid, it has following properties. First property is, it is incompressible. That is, density is constant. Density is constant. First property here is ideal fluid has four properties. First property is it is incompressible, means its density is constant. Then second property is it is irrotational. It is irrotational. Irrotational. It means that flow is smooth, the flow of liquid, then its flow is smooth, and there are no turbulences in the flow of liquid. Flow takes place in the smooth level, therefore it is irrotational. We can say that flow is smooth and there are no turbulence present in the fluid. Then next, it is non-viscous. Non-viscous. That is, it means that the fluid is non-viscous, there is no friction in the flow of liquid. Then next property is flow. Its flow is steady flow. It is steady. Therefore, we can say that velocity is constant. Velocity is constant. These are the properties of ideal fluid. That is, first property, it is incompressible. Flow is irrotational. Density is constant. It is irrotational, means flow is smooth, and it is non-viscous, means there is no friction. Then fourth, it is steady flow, that is velocity is constant in this case. Then in order to understand the difference between the solid and fluid, we have to discuss the difference between this solid and fluid. We have to draw here the figure. That is, let us consider this cube A, B, C, D. Then here F is the force acting. This is shear stress. This is normal stress. This is the figure of normal stress, outward force acting. This is a figure A, and this is figure B. Here is the length. In first figure, let us consider the cube ABCD. The front side of cube ABCD. Let us consider F is the force acting per unit area. Acting per unit area. Shear stress means when this solid is subjected to the shear stress. But shear stress means here at the bottom of this cube is fixed and there is increased in length at the top. Then bottom of this cube is fixed and the top surface is increased. Then we can say that consider F is the force acting per unit area. Then we can call that shear stress. In 11th standard we are discussed about that. Shear stress means the force acting per unit area. But this force act at the bottom. When this force is applied, then bottom surface of this cube is fixed, but there is increase in length. Here increase in length. Here increase in length of top surface. Therefore, we can say that shearing stress is there is change in shape of the body without changing in size. Then we can call that there is shear stress. Solid oppose the shear stress, but developing internal restoring force in that body. Therefore, we can say that deformation is reversible. Deformation in last 11th standard we are discussed. That is, deformation means when there is change in shape or size or both of body, then we can call then we can say that it is deformation. And the force which required for change in shape or size, or both of body, when there is change in shape or size or both of body, then we can call that deformation. And the force which is required for change in shape or both size or both of body, then that force is called as deforming force. Then solid oppose the shear stress. It opposes the shear stress. Then by developing restoring force within the body, and therefore we can say that deformation is reversible. But in case of fluid, most of fluid which have weak resistance to this deformation. Fluid in this case we are discuss this figure, that is normal stress. In normal, this ideal fluid subjected to this normal stress. Normal stress means when there is change, when force is applied, then at that time there is increase in length or decrease in length. Then the increase in length of the body and decrease in length of body, then it is called as normal stress. Then this deformation, this most of fluid have weak resistance to this fluid, and sometimes ideal fluid exhibit the property of viscosity. In 11th standard, we are discuss about the property of viscosity. Viscosity means it opposes the relative motion between the its layer. When water is poured in the beaker, then it flow is smoothly takes place, or it flow smoothly. But when honey it is poured into the beaker, then it flow is takes place slowly or steadily. Then we can say that it opposes the layers. Both are liquid or fluid, but it opposes the relative motion between its layers. Therefore, most of fluid exhibit the properties of viscosity. Then after that, this fluid has ideal fluid have within this property, but fluid having three properties. First, properties of fluid. Properties of fluid. First property is they do not oppose deformation, but they get permanently deformed. They get permanently. Then second property, they have ability to flow. They have ability to flow. And third, they take shape of containing vessel. They take the shape of the containing vessel. These are properties of fluid. Then after that we can discuss about when fluid is at rest position. We know that fluid means any substance that can flow, and liquid and gases which are collectively known as fluid. And when this fluid is at rest position, then the branch of physics which deals with the study of fluid, at rest position, then it is called as fluid. The branch of physics which deals with the study of fluid at rest position. Study of fluid. Study of properties of fluid. Properties of fluid at rest. Then it is called as hydrostatics. Hydrostatics, the branch of physics which deals with the fluid at rest position. Then we can call that this branch is called as hydrostatics. Study of properties of fluid at rest position. Then that branch it is called as hydrostatic. Then pressure of this fluid. Let us consider here F is the force acting when fluid is at rest position, then consider F is the force acting on the fluid at rest. It acts on the wall of container or wall of the wall, then it acting per unit area, then pressure it is given by pressure is equal to F by A. F is the force. F is the force acting. A is area. A is area. When then pressure is the force exerted per unit area. Force exerted per unit area. When fluid is at rest position, then force exerted acting per unit area, then it is called as pressure of that fluid. Then in this figure we can consider let us consider fluid exerting normal force on vertical surface. Here horizontal surface, then this figure represent the force exerted by the fluid on the vertical surface and horizontal surface. SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. Here pressure is equal to F by A. Then force it is measured in Newton and area it is measured in meter square. Therefore SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. And this 1 Newton meter square is equal to 1 Pascal. Also measurement of pressure. Yes, other units of pressure is bar and torque. These are the other units of measurement of pressure. Then dimension 1 bar is equal to 10⁵ Newton meter square. 1 bar is equal to 10⁵ Newton meter square. Then 1 hectopascal. 1 hectopascal is equal to 100 Pascal. And measurement of this pressure. Other units are bar and torque. These are the other units. Then dimension of this pressure. Dimension is the dimension force. Dimension 1 in length, 1 in mass minus 2 in time, and area dimension is L square. Therefore dimension of pressure is here this plus 2 goes towards upper side. it become minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, and this plus 1. We get here minus 1 and 1 in mass and minus 2 in time. This is the dimensions of force, that is 1 in length, 1 in mass, minus 2 in time, and dimension of L square. Then at that time, this plus 2 goes towards upper side, then it become minus 2. Then minus 2 and plus 1, it become minus 1. And therefore, dimensions of pressure is minus 1 in length, 1 in mass, minus 2 in time. It means when fluid is at rest position, pressure, it is the force acting per unit area. Then we can discuss about the pressure due to liquid volume. After that, we can discuss about the pressure due to pressure due to, we can discuss about the pressure due to, here we can discuss about the pressure due to liquid column. Here we can calculate about the, where we can calculate, where we can draw the figure pressure let us consider vessel containing liquid. Let us consider here vessel containing the liquid. Air, then water, this is, let us consider vessel containing liquid. Then let us consider, you know that P is pressure and F is the force and A is the area. Let us consider an imaginary cylinder. Let us consider vessel containing liquid. Then let us consider imaginary cylinder having cross-sectional area A, H is the height, rho is density, A is area of cross-section, area of cross-section, H is height, and rho is density, Then F is the force acting, per unit area. Then here it exerts this force It exerts due to liquid column. It exerts the downward force acting per unit area. But here F is equal to m into g. Here m is mass. M is mass and g is acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. M is mass and g is acceleration due to gravity. Then force is F is equal to m into g. G is acceleration due to gravity. Say this equation 1. Say this equation 2. Put this in this equation. Put equation 2 in 1. We get therefore P is equal to mg divided by A. Say that equation 3. Say this equation 3. Then after that we know that density is equal to mass divided by volume. We know density is equal to m by v. Mass divided by volume. Mass divided by volume. That is rho is equal to m by v. M is equal to rho into v. Where rho is density, v is volume of cylinder. But here volume of, here we can consider here the figure of imaginary cylinder of the volume. A is area and H is height. This is the volume of cylinder. Volume of cylinder. Then say this equation number 4. We can get here 4 equation. Then put this equation 4. Here equation becomes m is equal to rho into A is area, H is height of liquid column. Put this 5 in equation 3. In equation 3 we get P is equal to m is rho H into G divided by A get cancelled. Therefore P is equal to rho H G. Say this equation number 6. Here in this equation rho is density of liquid. H is height of liquid column. Height of liquid. And G is acceleration due to gravity. Then this is the pressure due to liquid column. Here P represent pressure, rho represent density, H is the height of liquid column and G is the acceleration due to gravity. This is about the pressure due to liquid column. Therefore This is about the mechanical properties. In this topic, we are discuss at first what is meant by fluid, properties of fluid, then pressure due to liquid column as well as when fluid is at rest position. Then after that we can discuss about the pressure due to liquid column. When fluid is at rest position and what is the pressure act on that fluid and pressure due to liquid column. We get here the formula P is equal to rho H G. Fluid means any substance that can flow, and liquid and gases both are collectively known as fluid. This is about the pressure due to liquid column.